Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show, training our horses and miniature cows in ranch versatility. Penning Rusty and Susie, our bull and heifer. Roping Rusty with Morgan horse, Semi. Training Eve to drive cart. Training Eve to work over her haunches with a motor cow simulator. Training Eve to lay down. Training Eve to harness, pull a log. Training Semi to harness, pull a log on turf. Jumping at liberty to music, making our Morgan horses our partners. Training Eve on a cow roping simulator. Training on our driveway, which is covered by sand, so we have a straight track. Stepping over poles, jumping over crossbar jumps. Training in our trail obstacles area. Semi on the big steps. Morgan horse Sadie doing obstacles rainlessly. Sadie learns to pull a cart. Miniature zebu heifer Susie learns to drive a cart. Bull Rusty learns to pull a harrow. Today is the beginning of a show about using my Morgan horses and mini zebus to do cow work practice here in my arena. Semi is being brought over today for a short visit to our pen. Now, we've practiced with the mini zebus doing other things, but it's been a long time since we've tried to pen them. So we're going to be working on getting our mini zebus, maybe both of them. We're going to talk about maybe can we use Rusty if we change his attitude. We're going to work on that in this show too. Now, Semi is going to be saddled up tomorrow. We're going to have Susie the heifer on this side. You're seeing the perimeter of what we call this side. This arena is being cut in half by my portable panels, which are on wheels and affixed to my existing vinyl fence, perimeter fence. We have cut the arena in half. On the other side of these portable panels, we're going to have Rusty. And Susie and Rusty are going to be coming through the back gate of my arena from their pen where they live. The idea here being, as Rosie works with Semi on trying to get Susie into this pen, which we can make bigger or smaller depending upon how many panels we use. There's some vinyl panels here that are making the pen in the corner of my vinyl fenced arena. While Rosie is working Susie, I'm going to be trying to work with Rusty's attitude safely on that side of the fence. We don't want Semi or any of our other Morgan horses to perceive Rusty as a predator, which has happened in the past. Why? Because Rusty is a bull, and he knows how to present himself as a bull. So we need to make sure, and I think this can be done. I haven't seen anybody try to do it, but I'm going to try to do it. We think we can tell Rusty, no, you can't behave that way when you're with the horses. And then we'll have Rusty and Susie to pen, which will be even more challenging and even more fun. Rosie, you can pick up what you've got in your hand, take it all the way to the south fence. Yeah, to the south fence, which is where, no, this way, toward the camera. We're going to store it there. So it's out of the way of other uses for the arena. These are vinyl portable panels, easy to move, but not quite as strong, not anywhere near as strong as steel. But okay, good enough for this application, we think, and we'll see, because we're going to try to pen Susie into that pen. And then that panel, which is a shorter one, but you can always add more, is going to be stored against that side of the arena. Now, they're out of the way. As Rosie puts Semi back into her pasture, because her only introduction today was to see all of these training devices. That's all we were going to do with her today. We're going to be pulling these panels back and out of the way until tomorrow. And then we'll show you tomorrow how we bring them out again and make them ready for penning our mini Zebus with our Morgan horses. And that's all for today. Sonia Sokolow, the introduction to this show. www.urbancowgirlchannel.com. Our Morgan horses to pen Susie, my heifer. And if all goes well today, we'll probably bring my bull out. As a matter of fact, he's coming close. He wants to be close to her. He'll be on the outside of this vinyl fence, which is my uncovered arena. Now we've got Susie in half the arena. I'm going to open up these panels enough so that Rosie can come in here with Sadie, my youngster. My young Morgan, he's about 5, and we're just going to do some real easy, stress-free work. We really want this to be stress-free, and the reason is that Susie is showing to me signs of being pregnant. I'm not sure, but we'll have some clips on this independent of this show. Good. Now, in the past, when Sadie was a youngster, she turned around and tried to kick Susie. So that was out of her stress, not the unknowns. Since then, we've been working on being able to move the body parts of Sadie. In other words, move her hindquarters, back her up, move her forequarters. That's what you need. Get lateral flexion. That's what you need to keep control. Susie's hanging with me. I'm going to try to get her to move out. Sadie's going to understand that her job, eventually, with repetition, is to raise Susie. And then, ultimately, in the far corner of my arena, set up with some plastic, 6-foot panels, we have a small pen set up. We're going to see if Sammy and Sadie will be able to get Susie in the pen. And that can be a real fun task, if all goes well. We are on the west side of the arena, and I have my bullwhip. We're going to try to pen Susie. Oh my goodness. Just safety haven in the pen. I'm going to go move her out with my bullwhip. I don't whip her.
And then I don't know if we're supposed to like close it.
And we can do it from horseback as well. I'm going to push her out here, and we're going to see if Sadie and Sammy, my Morgan horses, will be able to pen her into this pen that we made with portable panels on the west side of my uncovered arena. Okay, now Rosie on Sadie and Gina on Sammy are going to work as a team to push Susie around, to rate her, to open and close doors in such a way that she will go into the pen. Now, if she goes in as easily as she just did, for sure, we're going to have to try it with Rusty to make it a little bit more challenging. Susie is finding a safety haven in that pen. There you go. Well, that's okay. No. Oh, that's very good. Yes, now she's doing her avoidance trip. That's when work over the haunches is essential. Okay, you had a little bit of an athletic pass there. Let me push her out again. You guys back your horses off. I'll push her out farther this time, and I'm going to make the opening even smaller. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm going all the way to the other end of the arena, and we'll see what happens when Rosie on Sadie and Gina on Sammy work as a team to move Susie toward and into the pen. Now I'm going to back off. Remember that as you go towards her ribs, she'll move forward. To turn her, you need to go towards and get just in front of her head.
I guess I'll push her and you go alongside her.
Open and close doors. Push. Now she very well might, we don't know, we haven't rehearsed this, she very well might get to the opening and say, I'm not going in there. We'll see. And you'll see, because we're showing you. Now she's hesitating. Yeah, yeah. Now are my horses watching the hesitation? There you go. All right, that is about, 100% penning abilities.
Back.
Achievement of our goal. I'm going to push her out one more time and make the opening even smaller. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm going to make it just small enough for Susie to step up in here. I'm going to move Susie out. Yeah. And I'm going to back off and let the penning team do what they need to do. There she goes. There goes Susie. Rosie wants to make sure she opens the door. And be careful that once you get to the pen, over her box, can you push her in? Not too hard, not too much pushing. Sometimes if a cow is going right towards where you want them to go, just back off, because they'll tend to just keep going. It's a pretty small opening. I may have to make it a little bit bigger. Again, Susie. Let's see what happens now. If you, Gina, go towards her rib, she'll move forward. And if you, Rosie, back off, she'll come towards you. Okay, well, here we go. A little bit more of a cow. Susie, yeah, don't push. Not too much pressure. If she sees that opening, she'll go for it. But no, she saw this opening here. So your job is to close this door.
How many people are usually on a penning team?
2 or 3, depending upon how many minutes you have to pen. There you go. Here's where Susie's going to play her over the haunches thing. And Sammy, who's still a little bit stressful in her mouth. Okay? Good. Okay? Susie kind of sees the opening. Yes, close the door if you can, but don't push too hard. Turn around, Missy. And to help out here, I'm going to open that just ever so slightly more. So let me, without pushing, let me walk towards the pen. Show Susie, yes, that there is an opening. It was so small, and she was being pressured, so she wanted to get away from the horses that were pressuring her and didn't quite see the opening. Now I think this is going to be a much more challenging task when Rusty is in this arena on this side, on the east side, and then in here with Susie on the west side. But before we do that, we need to explain to Rusty that he is not the predator of my Morgan horses. And the way we're going to do that is by training him with pressure. If he does bullish things around my Morgan horses, we're going to make sounds with our whip. I'm gonna have a whistle in my mouth. He doesn't like the sound of the whistle. I'm gonna have my garbage can lid with a piece of PVC to make noise. We're gonna give him negative reinforcement for doing bullish stuff. And then we'll see whether or not my horses will take their proper role as alpha over Rusty. And in the past, they haven't. They've been real concerned about who's the boss. And we're going to investigate that and show you as we do it. So that's all for today. www.urbancowgirlchannel.com. Now we are working on using Mini Zebu Bull Rusty to help train my Morgan horses to do cow work. Lead line and my 2 Morgan horses ready to meet Rusty here in the penning arena. We've got the pen set up, but I'm sure we won't be able to pen today because I don't feel confident yet to let Rusty off the line. Now Rusty is a Bos Indicus. He is a humped bull. Their dispositions are quite good, generally speaking. I'm not working Susie today because her nipples have tripled in size. Her milk bags, if that's what I'm looking at, are bigger than ever. And I'm thinking Susie is pregnant and may have a heifer or a bull any day now, so I don't want to work her today. We will, if she doesn't produce a bovine for me in the next few weeks, we will do a blood test. There is one available for bovines and other small animals. Now here's what we're doing with Rusty. I put the lariat around his horns, then I got his cavesson on his nose. I've got my whistle in case I need to make an extra sound, but here is the best protection I have, a garbage can lid, because he is pretty respectful of it. If he tries to push on me or tilt his horns towards me, I use this, and I like to have one with a nice solid handle as a shield like the gladiators used to use. Now watch, I am going to walk up to my Morgans. Gina is riding Sadie, my youngster. Rosie is riding Semi, my teenager. And they've both seen Rusty, they've grazed next to Rusty, they've worked with Susie, but it's been years since I've tried to use my bull, Rusty. And I'm trying again now. Girls. Now my cameraman's going to show you the tension and the stress we're seeing in their mouths. The fear that is of most concern to me is that somebody, Sadie or Semi, will, because they are feeling prey, will turn around and try to kick Rusty. Back, back, back. Good, Rusty. Back, back, back. Rusty has been trained to lead, to ground drive, to pull. He knows G and ha over, step up and back. You just saw him back very nicely. He's pretty trained, but keep in mind, he's also a bull. So I keep his nature in mind all the time. Sadie is quite well trained, but I'm real concerned about her feeling like she has to swing around and kick up her heels. So I've asked Gina to pay special attention to moving Sadie's hindquarters, getting a leg yield, the hindquarters. Once her back legs cross over, there's very little Sadie can do. Yes, as far as bucking or kicking or bolting. Semi, I think, is a little more confident. Look at her body language right now. She's just standing there watching. And if Rosie were concerned, Rosie would be doing some of these exercises to move the hindquarters and the forequarters, the leg yields, so to speak. But Rosie is looking like Semi feels quite relaxed. All right, now what I'm going to do with this whistle in my mouth, with this garbage can lid in my hand, with the lead line on Rusty, with his cavesson on his head, I'm just going to walk around the horses. Now, they may want to turn around and watch them. That's okay. That's their nature. They need to see who they're worried about. If it looks like they're getting really agitated, I will stop. So here I go. Step up, Rusty. Good boy. Step up. Good boy. Step up, Rusty. Good boy. Again, Semi seems quite relaxed, Sadie, a bit agitated. She needs to have confidence that this bull is not going to be her predator. Good. Now I'm going to take him to the pen. I'm going to take him into the pen and then turn him around and walk him out. Step up, Rusty. I'm going to try to walk between the two horses. Sammy's getting a little concerned. Step up, Rusty.
I don't think she's concerned. I think she's just keeping her eyes on him.
Rosie's comment is, Sammy just seems to want to watch him. Not with concern, but because it's her nature. And I agree. Step up, Rusty. Now, one of the hardest things to teach a cow or a horse is back up. We're working on it with our horses all the time, especially back up straight, because it's not really something you'll see them do in nature. They will go right, they will go left, they will go forward, but very seldom do they back up. So with all three of these livestock, the two equines and the bovine, we will be practicing back, 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 Rusty, back, 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 back. And they won't always back up straight, not at first. It's something you want to teach them. Now, Clinton Anderson did a special show about backing. He said when you train a horse, he was dealing with horses to back, don't back them and then bring them forward. The idea is back means step back. So make sure you have a lot of space behind them. Ask them to back, let them stop, ask them to back again. If you need to change the course, the direction, then go to the left or the right. A lot of people, when they're teaching back, they say back and then they step up 3 steps and then they back 2 steps, and he says that is not an effective way to teach back. Well, you know what? I'm really happy with the fact that Rusty is not acting bullish. Of course, he has a lead line on. He sees my garbage can lid, which he highly respects. He has heard my whistle, which he is concerned about. He doesn't like loud noises. Next time, or when we're feeling safe, when we're feeling like it's the right time to do it, with all of these tools, I am going to release the lead line, and we're going to see if the horses and the bull will be decent to each other in this corral. And then maybe we can start what we ultimately want to be able to do, and that is pen miniature zebu bull Rusty with Morgan horses Sadie and Semi. And that's all for today. Sonia Sokolow, the Urban Cowgirl. At our next session with Rusty, we removed the lead line. Today, we took Rusty and put him in the same pen as Semi. Gina was riding Semi, Rosie was handling Rusty. After about 3 or 4 minutes of watching Rusty, watching Semi, we took the lariat off of Rusty's horns and had our garbage can lid and arm extension to help control what might next happen. just before we took the lariat off of Rusty's horns, Gina rode Semi around Rusty. Everybody still seemed to be quite resistance-free. Susie was nearby on the east side of the arena, but we did not work with Susie today because her nipples were even more distended than they were last time we worked. We didn't want to cause any stress for Susie. Now we are taking the lariat off his horns. We didn't know what to expect at all. But at first, he just stood there, and Semi showed no stress. After about a minute, Gina and Rosie walked towards him to see if we could get him to step up G or haw or back. Was he going to listen to our verbal requests? See that Rosie has her garbage can lid and her arm extension in her hand. We asked him to move toward the pen, using the arm extension and a little bit of noise making with the garbage can lid. As you can see, he listened to us. We were very pleased. We directed Rusty's movement from horseback and with the help of the arm extension and garbage can lid for about 3 or 4 minutes. He was calm, Semi was calm. All was going well. Then we began to see some body language signs from Rusty that he was going to be bullish, and Semi saw it too, but Gina anticipated it, sat in the saddle well. Rosie did her negative reinforcement with her garbage can lid and arm extension and noisemaker, and Rusty once again assumed his beta position in the arena. We decided to make it our sub-objective to encourage Rusty to go to the pen. We weren't sure we could get him in. We weren't sure how he would behave in the pen, but as you can see, he accommodated. He did a few bullish things like pawing the ground. Rosie gave him negative reinforcement for that. Semi was good. She watched, but wasn't perturbed. And we finished our objective for this session. Our cast of characters: Sadie and Eve, Semi, Demi, and Lotus, Rusty and Susie. www.thesokolos.com